conduct.
Respected elders, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and may peace be upon you. I'd also like to start off by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land. As you've just heard, and as you can see from what I'm wearing, I am a Muslim. As I'm sure you'll all agree, in recent weeks, that brings with it a unique set of challenges. So over the next 5 minutes and 43 seconds, I'm going to share with you my story. One of an average Australian who happens to be Muslim. In particular, I'd like to share with you the practical impact of my faith in the daily aspects of my life. Let's start with Islam itself. Islam, at its core, requires me to believe that my life has a purpose. And that purpose is to worship God and to serve Him in everything that I do. But what does that mean practically? A mainstream view that scholars of Islam have interpreted this to be is as follows: to do the right thing at the right time. As such, every action and every interaction we have with others becomes a test for us. A test of our integrity, a test of our manners, a test of our patience, a test of our values, and ultimately a test of our character. We are instructed to use every interaction as an opportunity to improve our character, basically become better people. It can be something as simple as smiling at someone when we look at them, or something slightly more complicated, like standing in front of a room full of people and delivering a speech at short notice. But I'm also an employee. I work as a corporate finance advisor at a very big multinational accounting firm in Brisbane CBD. My job requires me to advise clients from a multitude of backgrounds. My faith seamlessly fits into my work life. It encourages me to work hard at everything that I do. It encourages me to fulfill my commitment to my employer. In fact, Muslims believe that the Prophet Muhammad always went beyond what was asked of him, and he never ever asked for more in return. Please don't tell my boss that. I've got upcoming salary negotiations. I also have a fantastic team of colleagues. They show a great level of interest in my religion and my faith, and we talk about it in social settings all the time. I'm confident that anyone in my team of 15 can now tell you about halal food. They can tell you what time prayers are every afternoon, and they can tell you about fasting in Ramadan. Some of them can even tell you about the more intricate stuff, like what are the scholarly views on whether Muslim men are allowed to wear golden jewelry. I also have a great value to them. I'm a permanent designated driver. Keep your wallets. I'm also a father, a husband, and a friend. About a year ago, my wife and I were blessed with a beautiful baby girl, Safira. My day revolves around my family. Lately, most of our time has been spent with Safira. We play with her, we watch her grow. My wife and I, like most people, love to travel. And we've been very fortunate in that we've been able to travel all around the world. We also have a relatively active social life and a fantastic circle of friends. Our friends include Muslims and non-Muslims, and we value each and every single one of them. For me, cultural differences make friendships more interesting, and they make them stronger. This may sound a bit counterintuitive. However, I find that differences actually add vibrancy and fascination to a relationship.
In today's time, our greatest economic and social asset is our intellect. Exploring and learning about others and others' cultures allows us to develop, and it allows us to develop and grow. We get to broaden our horizons. I'm also a migrant. I was born in Bangladesh, but I grew up in South Africa. Thanks to a combination of sheer luck and a tremendous amount of effort on my father's part, I stand before you today. If you ask my mother, why did we come to Australia? She'll tell you that it's because Australia is one fantastic country. It provides us with opportunities to succeed and contribute to the society that we live in. This is quite consistent with my religion, by the way. As a Muslim, I have a religious obligation to respect the laws of the land. I have an even bigger obligation to make it a better place. This behaviour is epitomised by the 486 Muslim civil society organisations that operate in Australia. They operate for the benefit of all communities, both in Australia and abroad. These organisations contribute significantly to our society. For example, most of us probably don't know that Islamic Relief Australia recently raised a significant amount of money for the benefit of Christians and other non-Muslims who have been persecuted in Iraq recently. You'll notice that I'm wearing a South African rugby jersey. Unfortunately, the scars of the heavy losses to Australia in 2003, both in the Rugby World Cup and the Cricket World Cup, with Lance Klusener getting run out, those scars run too deep, and I haven't been able to let go just yet. I do support the Queensland Reds and the Brisbane Lions, though. And finally, I'm also Australian. I wanted to highlight to you today that I can be described as any of the 4 titles that I just went through. And I can still exist, and I can function properly, or close enough. I'll conclude with a challenge. This is a challenge which I stole from next weekend's Walk Together campaign. Yes, that's a little bit of shameless self-promotion for an event that I'm involved in. Before we leave tonight, I would like each and every single one of us to define for ourselves the Australia that we want to be aspiring to, the Australia that we want to be a part of, and the Australia that is possible. For me, this Australia is one that is consistent with the theme of tonight's dinner. One where we all make an effort to find common ground to unite upon and work together productively for generations to come. Oh, and world peace. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time.